Getting ready to start the second half here at Harmon Field. Fayetteville will get the ball first. Purple Dogs trailing Bentonville West 22-0.
All right, let's see if we see the extremely offensive play calling from West that we've seen all night, even when they're playing on the kickoff side.
Yeah.
Looks like a sky. You're going up.
Cy Bates is the kicker. And this one's going to take a bounce. And it will be fielded by the Purple Dogs back at the 13-yard line.
Wow.
Across the 20, and he's going to be taken down at the 21-yard line.
Peter
Sanford.
Greenfield.
Sanford on the return.
Peter Greenfield, that number 15 guy on West right there. He was tracking really quick.
Yeah.
I'm curious what that flag is. Looks like a block in the back.
Is there a flag?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't see
Yeah, he
it.
put it back in. He barely threw it out. Maybe he threw it right under his foot. Yeah, I think a block in the back is called on the returning, on the Purple Dogs right here.
Good call.
Block in the back against the Bulldogs.
Man, you just blocking the backs. You don't see those too often anymore. I see them in high school football. I don't see them at the college level too much. They'll just call blindside on a lot of those.
So that'll move the ball back to the 11-yard line. It'll be first down there for Fayetteville.
It's going to be a long drive for Fayetteville to come out for the second half right here.
De Lamar has Sanford standing next to him on first down. West shows a blitz. De Lamar keeps it, runs left side, and he's not going to get much, if anything. In fact, he might have been taken down for a loss of a yard. On the tackle that time for Bentonville West was Peter Greenfield.
Peter Greenfield made the tackle.
It'll
there
be
he is.
second down.
Yeah, he's pretty quick. That was a beautiful job of blitzing right there on the West defense.
Little or no gain on the play.
Perfect reading of that snap right there. So if you're the Purple Dogs, your answer seems to be run the ball to the outside off of QB scrambles. And then I don't see – there Burns is. Burns is on that outside.
Lined up to the far right of the formation. De Lamar on second down avoids the rush. Now throws deep downfield. He's looking for
Whoa.
Burns, and he just overthrew it.
I just don't think that
Burns had that would have been a touchdown
Yeah,
if they
he
could
would
have
beat him.
connected.
he's open. I
Late-
think you're missing that Schaefer arm right at
Yeah.
the moment.
Leighton Eldred was the defensive back in coverage, but Burns had him beat. Just a little off on the throw.
And De Lamar is a heck of an athlete. I just
Got a
think
good arm.
Yeah, it's just I think Schaefer's just got that crazy accuracy. That's why the baseball teams even approached him at Arkansas about a baseball scholarship. Weak side's got all the receivers over there except for Burns.
Oh, snap goes into the end zone. De Lamar can't get it, and it's going to be recovered by West for a touchdown. De Lamar tried to pick it up instead of falling on it. It would have been a safety if he would have fallen on it. Touchdown recovery that time by Michael Farr. And now with 6:49 to play in the third quarter, the Wolverines have gone ahead 28-0.
Man, that was a tough break right there. De Lamar looking a little frustrated coming over to the sideline. Gonna have to shake it off. A little short memory. He's gonna need this play. And here West is on that two-point conversion that he just kept going to. I wouldn't be surprised if you see that two-point conversion play from last time. They had Bates wide open.
This time Hawkins goes play action, throws right side, and that pass
Wow.
is caught.
That could have been a varsity
That was
level. That was really well ran right there.
Great throw. Quentin Thompson with the catch that time. And with 6:49 to play in the third quarter, the new score, Bentonville West 30, Fayetteville Purple nothing. This is Purple Dog football. third quarter, the Fayetteville purple team trails Bentonville West 30-0. Touchdown recovery that time by Michael Farrer. That's 2 defensive touchdowns tonight for the Wolverines. Vincent had an interception return for a score earlier. Here's Sanford. Comes out across the 40, the 45, out near midfield, finally pushed out of bounds. The flag is standing at the 30-yard line. On the tackle that time was Tyrell Watson.
Oh, they both got him. There's 2 flags at least. Let's see if it's the same thing. Holding. Yep.
There's 3 flags.
Wow.
There's one on the 30, one on the 33, one on the 41.
Somebody must have been pulling a jersey off of somebody for 3. They're all talking. Best case scenario for Fayetteville right now, it's all 1 penalty.
Yeah.
So I think tonight we're definitely seeing an example of the importance of having a truly good pass game mixed with your run game, especially at just this age level. Having a good pass game is just something that you can't get around because a lot of teams aren't going to have that. And defenders at this age, and I was a defender at this age. Like you just don't, you just don't have the discipline necessarily to take on some of those slant routes and things like that because the fundamentals that you're learning are still being learned. For some of these guys, they didn't play football till 8th grade at Woodland, some 7th, and there's just a lot of fundamentals still to be learned and repetition and practice.
I feel like this age we're still working on quarterback center exchanges.
Exactly.
And now here they are running shotgun formations. So it's multiple penalties against the Purple Dogs.
Wow.
So a hold was declined and a blindside block was accepted.
There's a blindside.
Yep.
No. That's a little more common.
So that's going to move Fayetteville all the way back inside the 20, I think maybe close to the 15-yard line.
Coach Davis is a little.
They haven't set the ball yet. I don't think they've got a ball on the field.
Well,
there we go.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, so they're going to put the ball at the 18-yard line. So that's where the Purple Dogs will start with 6:39 to play in the third quarter. 4 receivers here.
There we go. We haven't seen that yet tonight.
For Jason DeLamar, 2 to either side. On first down, they throw a
lot of field.
Pass out to the 20, the 25, the 30. Great run after the catch that time. Dawson Birmingham. That'll go down as a 16-yard reception.
And Birmingham might be the guy you need to play with tonight. They've been needing to find a third guy to start moving the ball, and it seems like playing on those edges of this Bentonville West defense has been good for the Fayetteville offense so far, and if they can continue to attack it, maybe they can get themselves into the end zone before time runs out.
Birmingham got injured late in the season for Woodland last year, had to miss their conference championship game against a lot of these West players at Grimsley.
Oh.
First down pass in, complete. It was intended.
It seems like Fayetteville's going to go on those outside edges for the rest of the night.
It was intended for Jordan Beanland that time. Clock stopped with 6 minutes to play, third quarter. I believe there's the sportsmanship rules in effect for 9th grade games as well, so
should be running.
Well, no, I was going to say not yet. It's 35 in football, 30 in basketball. Gets a little confusing to keep up with all the numbers. They throw the middle of the passes in, complete.
He got lucky.
Probably should have been intercepted that time. It was underthrown, and Tyrell Watson got his hands on it, just couldn't pull it in. Burns was the intended receiver. It's third down.
It feels like we're getting to these third downs a little quick on the Fayetteville side of the ball. It just seems like those first and second downs keep slipping away from them, and then they're put in a situation 10 yards on a deep third, having to make a big play.
Yeah, it seemed like those first 2 downs went really quick. It'll be 3rd and 10. Fayetteville needs to get to its own 44-yard line to move the chains. 3 receivers left side, 1 to the right. They try to set up a screen. This is Birmingham across the 35, the 40. He's got first down yardage out to the 45-yard line.
Looks like Birmingham is the guy. 2 first downs now.
2 catches for 27 yards on this drive. They mark him at the 45. It'll be first down with 5:51 to play, third quarter. Kind of interested, the Purple Dogs, they line up a long way behind the line of scrimmage.
They've been doing it all. Last game, they did the same thing.
Exactly.
It was almost uncomfortable watching on the field. They got to run so far up.
Just different. You see some teams now, it's kind of the Gus Malzahn approach. They'll huddle like 3 yards from the line of scrimmage. So to see a team go back that far is just different. De Lamar with the carry on first down is driven out of bounds.
He didn't have
Cy
anything.
Bates on the tackle that time for the Wolverines. It'll be a loss of 4 back to the 41.
And De Lamar's taking a little bit of tape off of his left arm. So it's worked. It's worked now twice for this Fayetteville offense. I'm surprised they're not just going strictly to it yet, but just these outside screen plays and passes. They've tried it. They've tried it on 1 down. We'll see if they try to do it right here again. Oh,
De Lamar throws left side. This is Beanland. Gets across the 45, midfield, inside West territory. Knocked out of bounds. That's going to be a late hit.
It's a good
Yep.
call.
It wasn't on Kennan.
No. It might have been on Watson, 27. He was there pretty late.
Kennan pushed him out, and then
I think that's what he
someone
was
came and
concerned.
just gave him an extra shove.
It was a great play by him. Oh, he's got a little bit of the student section talking to him, too. And if you're Fayetteville, you get this ball in before 4 minutes, you're feeling pretty good about yourself, just given the pace of this game. Now everything's been going for you.
It was a 12-yard reception plus the 15-yard penalty puts Fayetteville at the West 32-yard line. Empty backfield. De Lamar is going to keep it, and he's going to run right into the blitz.
He didn't even look like he wanted to give any effort after he got caught right there.
Well, he was just waiting for the play
Yeah.
to be blown dead. And,
Well,
and
they've
that was a
been
good
a-
job by Asher Olson, the one who had him wrapped up, not to drive him into the ground.
Absolutely. They've been a little late on calling those. We've seen him get pinned
Yeah.
up and then.
Well, and I think
keep
that's
going.
what caused that fumble early in the game for Fayetteville.
Oh, yeah.
Is that they were late to call a
Down.
forward progress. Second down and 13.
That
De
been-
Lamar with 3 receivers to the right side. Pretty good protection here. Throws deep toward Burns in the end zone, and that pass is caught.
There it is.
Touchdown.
There he is.
Xavier Burns. 35-yard reception from Jason De Lamar. They've been trying to hit that play a couple of times tonight. The timing just hasn't been there. At that time, he made a great catch in double coverage.
And that number 7 on the cornerback, Thompson, for West, he was chirping a little bit at the student section. Student section's a little bit happy down there after getting to see that outside throw. And there's not much you can do on Burns once he starts going. He's pretty quick.
I hate to make this comparison, but it kind of reminds me of watching Isaiah Satania in a senior high game.
Yeah. Here we go. Looks like, well, they're kind of forced to do this, I guess.
Look at this. They've got Jackson Oliver, big number 99, lined up at running back. De Lamar is going to give it to Oliver, running left side. Can they take him down? Look at them. Look at the big guy go. And finally,
not down.
he never went down, but they're
Oh,
going to
man.
call him down. About 7 different Wolverines had a chance to take him down, and none of them could get him to the ground.
Reminds me of this was on Sports Center just the other night. Missouri State player, big guy, Pacific Islander guy. He had all 12 players on him, and
Yeah.
they fan out. Camera comes out, and he's still standing, and he's just looking at the ref, wondering why he called the play. And
Yeah.
the ref had to explain to him on the sideline. He's like, "You had 12 players on you."
Well, I'm not 12.
11. My bad.
Arkansas used to do that with Sean Andrews. They'd put him in on the goal line and let him plow in. So after that touchdown, the new score is Bentonville West 30, Fayetteville Purple 6.
Didn't run too much clock there either as that Fayetteville offense drove down the field.
The sideline got real excited after that series of plays. First the touchdown, but then for Oliver to run and not go down. I mean, even though he didn't score, it was a play that really fired up his teammates, I think.
Absolutely. Ooh, I think West called a timeout. Or did Fayetteville? Who called that?
It was a timeout by West.
Okay. He just kicked it onside, so now they know that's where he's going. Look at Oliver's down. Oliver's on the sideline. He's getting excited. He's talking to the crowd. I mean, that does give your team momentum, even when you're down by this much. Just getting to see you get to see one of your linemen get to take the ball for a second. That definitely gets your team excited.
The nose tackle. Made a nice play earlier. Made the sack in the first half.
He's going to be a threat when he gets a little bit older and gets some of these fundamentals down.
It's a lot of fun to watch these games and just kind of get a feel for, who's going to be the players that we're going to be talking about on Friday nights in a year or 2 years.
They kicked that off really quick.
There's a long kick. Thompson's got to field this, and he's going to fall on it at the 11-yard line.
He had some room to run, too, if he just picked it up, but probably the smarter play right there.
4:31 to play third quarter. Talking about just kind of futures, the feeling is that Bentonville West could be a really good varsity team in about a year, maybe 2 years.
Absolutely.
Their team that we saw Friday night had a ton of sophomores and juniors on it. And so you think about when that team gets complemented by these players when they come up as sophomores a year from now. And then, of course, when this year's sophomores are seniors and this group is juniors, I feel like West could be really good for the next couple of years.
Absolutely. And West is finally starting to be able to put a foundation down for what Bentonville West truly is. This is the first time I think we've seen classes actually go through the whole system.
From 7th grade on.
Yeah, we have not seen much of that at all. So that's been huge for their program.
That's a good point.
But they've also, throughout since they were founded, they've been able to, truthfully, be able to put their head in there as a varsity program, even when they weren't necessarily full of seniors or anything like that.
Myers gained 3 on first down.
Good
Hawkins
keeper.
is going to keep it himself across the 20 out near the 25-yard line. First down yardage.
And this is what Fayetteville's been struggling with tonight. We haven't got to see it in the second half yet. Can they stop this West offense? That's a real question tonight because they have just been running all over them. And the second they start running it, they're throwing it. So it'll be interesting to see if this Fayetteville defense can finally put their foot down and stop this West offense from getting these first downs repetitively.
Gain 12 that time for Hawkins. They'll give it this time to Vincent running right side. He's across the 30, cuts up field at the 35, at the 40. Hit out of bounds by Jackson Oliver. He'll fill that one tomorrow. Oliver gave him a good shove. It was a clean play.
It was clean.
He was trying to stay in bounds, and so Oliver sent him kind of flying a little bit.
He told him he should have ran out right there.
But even that 16.
Even that, once again, gives your team a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
Guy just ran the ball down your sideline, and then you have a guy come out and make a big hit.
How did your coaches coach you on that whenever a player is near the sideline but he's not out? Because that's a really tough play for a defensive player.
Absolutely. As a safety, I think something I struggled with was making those plays when it goes out to the outside. Oh, look at that. He's trying to go for that strip. Oh.
Great run by Myers out across midfield to the 49-yard. That's a gain of 9.
Yeah, but something that just has to be learned is the goal is to get the guy out of bounds. And so out of bounds even means pushing that guy out and making sure he doesn't beat you onto the inside. So playing that inside hip and getting him out. But truthfully, I had a couple times when we go to Greenwood for our first scrimmage of the year and I would hit a guy out of bounds. I vividly remember one time hitting the guy about 4 yards out of bounds and having no idea why I got penalized for it.
2nd and 1. Hawkins in the shotgun, looking right side, throws it deep. This pass is tipped and
Great
incomplete.
defense. Wow.
Thompson was the intended receiver, got his hands on it a couple of times.
That was actually a really good defensive play. Good job pulling his arms down.
Logan Holler was the defensive back in coverage for the Purple Dogs, and that'll be 3rd down and 1.
And you look at the size matchup right here, and it looks like a mismatch, but he was beat for just a second, but he made sure to do exactly what a DB is supposed to do. The second that ball touches his hands, he ripped those arms away, and he had no chance of catching that.
3rd and 1, 2:03 to play 3rd quarter. Hawkins is going to keep it himself. Got the first down across the 45, and he got more across the 40. Look at the speed across the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown. That was an incredible run.
Still running.
Touchdown, West.
Hawkins goes in from 49 yards out.
So they have absolutely, and this is something the white team was exposing about this purple team last week, was the flats were an extremely vulnerable part of this defense. And that's not because of the cornerbacks. It's just the way that this defense is designed, and something that you sacrifice to cover those deep routes. And especially with such a strong inside core, that Fayetteville defense has sacrificed those outside edges. And so that's something that West is using to their advantage tonight.
Looked like Hawkins might have given himself up at the 40, and then he just took off. That pass is incomplete. The 2-point try. He was looking for Bates in the left side of the end zone. Look, it was Xavier Burns back in coverage. And so with 2:03 to play in the 3rd quarter, our new score, Bentonville West 36, Fayetteville Purple 6. This is Purple Dog Football. Back at Harmon Field, 2:03 to play in the 3rd quarter. Bentonville West leads the Fayetteville Purple team 36-6. Cy Bates will kick it off for the Wolverines.
Gotta wait for a man to get set out there.
Great 49-yard touchdown run by Stephen Hawkins. It's a low kick, and that's a live ball. He takes it at the 2, and he could have let it go in the end zone. Sanford back out across the 15, the 20, and he gets out to about the 22-yard line.
Should have let it go back to the end zone, but it didn't sacrifice too much right there.
Ended up getting a couple of extra yards over what he would have if it would have been a touchback. Minute 57 to play 3rd quarter. Oh, there is a flag.
Where is he?
I think Fayetteville's been penalized on 3 straight kickoff returns.
Oh, they'll definitely go over that.
That's assuming that this is against the Purple Dogs.
It looks like it is.
And it is. It's a hold.
They cannot catch a break right now. But that's one of the great things about being a young team at this age. And you want to win this game naturally, but in the scenario that they're in right now, something that can be learned is just back to fundamentals at this age. Like we were saying, when we were playing this, we were learning a lot of snap and catch with the quarterback. So these guys are learning those disciplines in those areas.
Penalty moves Fayetteville back to the 12-yard line. DeLamar gives a nice hole there across the 20, the 25, and then Sanford will get pushed back to the 24-yard line.
Well, that's how to make up for it right there.
We showed a good burst.
That was
nice hole on the right side of the line.
A lot of speed. And what this Fayetteville offense has to do is, even though they're down by 30 right now, continue to drive and get those touchdowns and try to at least get a little bit of momentum and give those good looks where they can.
Sanford looked like he might have hurt his shoulder on that play. Kind of favored it on the sideline.
Oh, offsides. Or false start. Well, Sanford did get shoved a little bit after the play. Why Bates tackled him. Bates did not like the look of him getting that deep.
False start will move Fayetteville back to the 19-yard line. Clock resumes. Minute and a half to play, third quarter. Two receivers right side for De Lamar. He'll turn and throw that way. The pass is caught
Got him on the
across
edge.
the 20, the 25. Falls forward to the 29-yard line, so they get the penalty yardage back plus a little bit more. Landon Holzhauer on the reception that time for the Purple Dogs, and it'll be third down upcoming. 3rd and 5. Fayetteville needs to get to its own 34.
Something rough as a defender is learning to tackle the guy back instead of throwing the guy. So right there we watched him get up probably about 4 or 5 yards, just getting tossed forward by the defender, just not wrapping up.
Under a minute to play in the third quarter. De Lamar throws left side. This pass is caught across the 30 and near first down yardage, but I don't think he's got it. I think he's going to be about a yard shy. Dawson Birmingham was the running back who caught the ball. Several Wolverines in on the tackle. Parker Greenfield might have been the one. Correction, Peter Greenfield was the first one there. 4th down and 1. Fayetteville doesn't have to take another snap here in the quarter if it doesn't want to. They could use the end of the quarter almost as like a timeout to talk about this play, and I think that's what they're going to do. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. West and Fayetteville trading touchdowns toward the end of the quarter, but West puts 14 more on the board.
Yeah.
And our score, 36-6. It's West leading Fayetteville Purple. This is Purple Dog Football. Back at Harmon Field, 8 minutes to play. Fayetteville Purple trailing Bentonville West 36-6 as we start the fourth quarter. And it's 4th down and a yard to go, and Birmingham is close. I think second effort might have gotten him up to the 34-yard line.
Yep. Looks like he got it.
Yeah, first down run that time for Birmingham.
Barely.
Hard-earned yardage. So that'll move the sticks.
I think that's the first 3rd and short scenario we've gotten to see the Purple Dogs in tonight.
Isaiah Sanford is on the sideline after that nice run. He's now got his jersey off and being looked at. It was his shoulder he came off favoring.
Yeah, he's trying to lift it right now.
They throw right side. This is Holzhauer across the 35. Got a block at the
There he
40,
goes.
but there's a flag across the 50, and he's going to be out on the west side of the field. But I think they're going to call this a hold against Cooper Clark.
Yeah, I mean, that's been working for Fayetteville tonight, just dumping the back out and giving him the ball, and then these bubble routes clearly have an edge with him. All the receivers have to do, just be disciplined, make sure to get in the way of that. It's not even about necessarily getting a good block on that cornerback. It's about being an object in between that cornerback and and that receiver, because then you'll cut off that safety that's screaming down through the hole.
The hold was so far downfield, it's only going to make it first down and 14. A couple players come off the field late. Now Fayetteville's going to huddle up with 15 seconds left on the play clock. We'll run up to the line. DeLamar will come out in the shotgun. We can't get a snap off here. 4 seconds on the play clock. 2 receivers left side. Oh, Bates comes through unblocked. DeLamar gets away, gets across the 30, and gets the penalty yardage back. Taken out of bounds by Greenfield. Gain of 5. It'll be second and long. Greenfield has really been all over the field tonight for the Wolverines. He showed a lot of speed sideline to sideline.
I think he'll be one of those guys in a couple years that he'll earn a starting spot as a junior on his varsity team. He just seems to have a lot of speed at this age right now.
Second down and 9. 4 receivers set here for the Purple Dogs. DeLamar in the shotgun. Tries to set up a screen. This is Burns. He's got it across the 40, the 45. Burns has got some speed. Gets across midfield and taken down at the 29. Vincent on the tackle that time for West. Burns is slow to get up.
Oh, he's cramping.
Yeah, I think he's cramping.
It's nice for the West player, helping him out a little bit.
And Keaton Kennan pulled his leg up until the trainer could get there. It's hot, and it has not been this hot in a couple of weeks.
It
was 94 degrees when I was driving over here.
It's just a little bit of late summer, I guess, deciding to stick around with us a little bit.
Heard Sam Pittman talking today as the Razorbacks are getting ready for their game against Georgia. They're going to practice inside all week because he's concerned about the heat and his players being out in the sun. And he made a little bit of a plug. He said, and you know our indoor facility doesn't have air conditioning. So I bet that's going to get a new HVAC unit at some point.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, he said that he thought that the heat inside the building would be better for his team to practice in as opposed to the heat and the sun combination of them practicing outside this week.
You know, I don't know what the weather's looking like in Athens, but I do know it gets a little humid down there.
It'll be very hot, yeah.
You might have to – and those indoors do get a little hot, especially when they don't have air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, humidity is almost more a factor than the heat.
You got to open up the side doors and turn on the big fans just to get some ventilation flowing.
And then you can't hear anything.
First down here from the 49-yard line. DeLamar going deep downfield, and that pass is incomplete. He overshot his intended receiver, Mathis Brady. Brady got behind Thompson, the cornerback. We've seen that a few times. Fayetteville's receivers have gotten behind the defense. It's just the accuracy hasn't been there.
Yeah, Thompson, that cornerback, has not done a fantastic job of just making sure to get those drop steps in before those. I mean, those receivers are breaking his cushion. He's got to make sure to run a little bit, or maybe even line up 2 yards deeper just to make sure to prepare for those.
Burns is on the sideline trying to walk off and hydrate. That cramp that seems to be affecting him. Second down and 10. High snap. DeLamar takes it, throws left side, and he throws it incomplete. Oh, boy, now you got a player. I think he's cramping. Jack Kessler is rolling around in a lot of pain.
He cramped.
I think so. Trainers will come out and take a look at him, and it's a busy night for these trainers between the injuries and now it looks to be a lot of cramps here late in the game.
Yeah, he kind of got a weird fall on that ball too. Man,
might have been the cramp that caused it. You ever had a Charlie horse that just made you just? I've had a few.
Oh yeah.
I've been sitting in a press box before when it just kind of gets you right in your quad area and you just have to stand up and people look at you like, what are you doing?
I remember freshman year playing football in college. It was a lot. Like after leg days, I'd go to sleep, take a little nap before class, and I'd wake up and I didn't want to I lofted my bed. I couldn't get down, just cramping, trying to get down, getting your roommate to come over and help you down from the top of that bunk. But yeah, those are not fun to get. I remember late Friday nights, too, after high school games, getting a little Charlie horse in the car. And then you're a little scared. Your right foot's cramping. You're like, oh, man.
3rd down and 10. Fayetteville needs to get to the 39 of West. They try to set up a screen. This pass is caught by Birmingham, but he's hit right away by Cy Bates.
He still caught it, which is pretty impressive regardless.
Caught it for a loss of a yard. Birmingham's slow to get up, and now it's going to be 4th down.
You know,
Looks like the purple team's going to bring on their punt team.
it might not be the play that he wanted, but he still held on to that ball, which is just really impressive.
That Cy Bates is all over the field, too, for West.
Oh, absolutely. He will maybe the other guys will catch up to him in a little bit, but he looks like a tight end ready to do some crazy things.
De Lamar back deep to punt for Fayetteville. He punts left-footed. Gets this one off. It's a line drive kick. It'll take a Fayetteville bounce, no return. And the Purple Dogs will down this at about the 18-yard line. Clock will stop on the change of possession. 5:28 to play, 4th quarter. The Purple Dogs trailing Bentonville West 36-6.
We've had 2 cramps in just this quarter, so maybe we're getting a little gas, but I'm going to assume that those guys are just getting a little bit stretched out after this one. And something to note after this game, Fayetteville's defense has done a pretty fantastic job of making sure that inside run has not gone on them. So their defensive line has done a fantastic job tonight of filling their gaps and getting to where they need to be. I think something that we'd like to see this Fayetteville team improve on is just those outside edges. Is just something that's hard to naturally get used to, and especially when reading a quarterback who's ran the option a couple times tonight, and with a coach who's calling audibles once he's reading this Fayetteville defense. It's pretty hard to get adjusted to.
On 1st down, West will run it left side. Nice tackle there in the open field that time.
You know, I feel like right when I say I need to watch the outside edges, and Fayetteville makes a play like that. So great job reading it right there.
That was Faulkman who took him down. A loss of about 6 yards back to the 11-yard line.
No, and now we're getting close to getting into safety territory. If somebody can make a big play right here, just a bad snap. Not out of character.
This Fayetteville Purple team will be back next week. They'll be on the road up at Rogers Heritage. And here Hawkins is going to keep it running left side. You got to watch him with that speed. Gets out near the 20-yard line, pushed out of bounds from behind. On the tackle that time was Mathis Brady.
That is just a lot of discipline from this West offense. Knowing how to run an RPO at this age is just something that's not common. And they've ran the run option here a couple times. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see this West team coming up in the next couple of years run RPOs at the varsity level just based off of what we're seeing tonight. A lot of speed, great receivers, but it seems like the backfield is where the magic's happening, and they have a great O-line in front of them right now.
Mentioned that the Purple team is going to be at Heritage next week as they get ready to take this 3rd down snap. They'll give it up the middle. Not much there. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Miller, the ball carrier on the tackle that time for Purple Dogs, was Landon Martin. And now it'll be 4th down. Purple team at Heritage next week. We are going to be back here at Harmon next week when the the freshman white team comes back home to play the same Bentonville West team.
Oh, wow. We get to see Bentonville West. And we'll be a little familiar with these guys now.
So
That's
West
kind
will
of
be
exciting.
back here next weekend.
Absolutely.
2 straight Monday nights. They'll have to take the trip down here to Fayetteville. And that's a long drive, too.
It is a long drive. I'm excited to see this white team play against this Bentonville team. I'm curious to see what they show them. White, when we watched them at least, and we got a timeout right here, looks like
3:20 to play.
Looks like the punt team is probably coming out here, but something I think that'll be exciting about this white team is the white team, when we watched them play Purple, stuck to pretty much a run-heavy offense. But something that they did start doing towards the end of the game, and I don't know if it's because they got pressured into it or if that's just what the game plan was, but towards the end of the 3rd quarter, into the 4th quarter, they started going with these play action, running quick out routes with their receivers, and it was punishing this purple defense. They just got exposed in gaps in that coverage. And I'm curious to see if that white team will take advantage of these seemingly man defenses that West continues the show, but I don't know if their run-heavy offense will be out here again or not. But we look like we have a punt formation for the first time from the West team, so Fable gets their first seemingly 4 and out here.
Vincent back deep to punt it for the Wolverines. He stands inside his own 10-yard line. Rolls right, gets a good kickoff. And Brady gets underneath it, fumbles it, but picks it up across midfield. Brady spins away from a defender, gets across the 45 of West. Still on his feet, and they'll give him forward progress out to the 44-yard line.
By no means is he the biggest guy on the field, but it took them a minute to get him down right there.
We're actually going to see, because you and I only do the home games here in Harmon for the purple and white teams, we're actually going to see 4 Bentonville teams over the next 4 weeks.
I don't know.
Because you've got West tonight and next week, and then the following 2 weeks, purple and white will play the Bentonville 9th grade team here.
Wow. I don't know if I've seen that much Bentonville in my time of playing.
First down from the 44, 3:02 to play, clock runs.
Oh.
Starts left side, bounces back to the right across the 40, the 35. The
Great
30 gets a
blocks.
great block downfield at the 25.
Wow.
And out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Leighton Falkman on the run that time.
That was amazing footwork. Wow, that was a great job of just stepping inside that defender and cutting it back. Wow. And who was that on the outside with that block? That was impressive.
23-yard gain that time for Falkman.
William Brady on the outside, number 17. What a block he made downfield. And now they're showing, and this is the purple offense that we saw. We saw one that could drive. We're not seeing the passing tonight like we saw against the white team.
So movement on the line, no penalty. They throw left side. This pass is caught. And a gain of maybe a yard out to the 20-yard line. Brett Tidwell on the reception, and now he's slow getting up. Tidwell gets up, but he's going to have to hobble off the field. Clock continues to run, 2:09 to go. Like Tidwell's going to try to stay in the game.
These refs are calling downs a little late, and I think that's something that's been a common theme throughout the night. I thought he got his knee down once again a little early over there, but looks like they called it a little late, and he had a couple defenders get on him before he got the chance to get down.
Second down and 9 from the 20-yard line. They'll give it to Falkman again, runs left side, and he's going to be taken down after a gain of a yard.
I don't know if he actually ever touched it.
Yeah, it looked like
You're going to bounce off the defender right there.
looked like he might have too. Jackson Bates was the linebacker who took him down. Third down. Clock continues to run inside of 90 seconds to go now. Minute 20 to play.
But there's a lot of things that this purple offense can learn from this game. I think, first off, I think Schaefer's a must-have if you want to continue to compete, especially at a team like West. But mostly the receivers, great job route running tonight. And I think, truthfully, I think it was just a little bit one-dimensional for the most part. But spreading this, wow.
David Lamar's pass caught that time by Jordan Beanland.
Spreading this defense out is something that Purple did an exceptional job out tonight. I think every time they went on the outside attack, they've done a fantastic job. This Bentonville West defense is something to play against, truthfully. They have a tough team to try to get past for the white team next week.
It was a 3-yard gain for Beanland. It'll bring up fourth down. Fourth down and a little over 3 yards to go. De Lamar throws toward the end zone, and that pass is incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Clark in the back of the end zone. And so Fayetteville will turn it over on downs. And West, I'm not even sure if they have to take another snap.
There is I don't know why, but maybe that just fell out of his pocket. There was a flag on the far side of the field for a second.
I don't think they're throwing flags anymore. I've seen about 3 penalties that weren't called in the last few seconds. They're just – oh, no, they do. How about that? Illegal substitution against West.
Well, Fayetteville might have a chance to get a little score in here.
So that'll give them a first down.
I mean, I don't see why they don't score with 20 seconds left. There's much room in the end zone.
First down at the 11. They're quick to pick up their flags after they throw them. I've noticed about this crew.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And now we've got some movement on the line. We've seen a couple of times where the line has moved before the snap and they
Yes.
just let it go, but that time I guess it was a little too egregious, and it'll be a false start against the Purple Dogs, and that'll move Fable back. Well, he called false start, but then
Interesting.
he called false start, but then pointed toward West. That would be an offside penalty.
Yeah, that was confusing.
Yeah, it definitely was. From the 6-yard line, 19 seconds to play. De Lamar looks right side, just
Bob.
throws it up toward
Wow.
Clark, and he got it. Touchdown, Cooper Clark.
Good for him. That was a great play
They almost-
right into the game.
They almost connected 2 plays ago, and this time they do. 6-yard touchdown pass from De Lamar to Cooper Clark. That's the second touchdown for De Lamar tonight. And so Fable will walk out of here with a little bit of a good feeling.
Oh,
Getting
they
a
fought,
touchdown late.
fought till the end. They
Didn't-
didn't let off the gas on offense.
Well, we were talking about whether or not the mercy rule might come into effect when it was 30-0, and so they showed a lot of fight over the last 14 or so minutes of this game.
And they could have let off the gas. They could have let it get to their head, but they stayed in there and they fought. And they're even going for a 2-point right now. So they're clearly not backing off at the end of this game.
De Lamar looking over the middle, and that pass is incomplete. He was looking for Holzhauer, went off of Holzhauer's right hand. And so, barring something weird, our final score tonight is going to be 36-12. That's the score with 14 seconds remaining. And now do you even kick it off, or you just let the clock run right here?
That is the question. It looks like they're going to go for a kickoff right here.
I'm never real clear on the clock rolls. You know, at some levels, the clock begins to run before the ball is ever put in play. Now, I think we've seen that happen at times tonight, but
Not right now.
nope,
Nah.
not right now. So Fable lines up to kick this ball away. It's Nathan Catchell.
Looks like he's not lining up too deep for this kick right here. Wouldn't be
Vincent standing back deep for West. It is a deep kick. It'll be fielded back at the 12-yard line across the 20, the 30. This is Thompson down the right sideline across the 40, and he runs out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Birmingham on the tackle that time for the Purple Dogs after a return of 29 yards. And there are 7 seconds left on the clock.
I think a lot of coachable moments from tonight for the Fayetteville team. Bentonville even showing some coachable moments just in the way on the defensive side. I think just a couple errors happening on the cornerbacks throughout the game, but now we have our final score, I guess.
Yep, West doesn't have to take another snap. The game is over, and our final score tonight, Bentonville West 36, Fayetteville Purple 12. The Purple team will be at Rogers Heritage next week. We'll be back here next Monday night with a home game for the Fayetteville White team against the same Bentonville West Wolverines. Until then, we hope you have a great week. Good night, everyone.